Good morning. It is day 99 on trail. We're just heading off from camp. It's about 7:45 in the morning. The weather is still pretty humid, but it's cooled down a little bit from last night. It's pretty cloudy this morning, and so I'm hoping that the cloud stays and it doesn't heat up too much as the day goes on. There's a lake in about 19 miles with a state park campground, so we're thinking that we'll probably stop there, at least to have a swim, but maybe to camp there tonight as well. It's a nice little spot, I think, hopefully. People have pretty good comments about it in Guthook, so that's always promising. Otherwise, today looks like it's going to be pretty up and down. Not anything too big as far as the climbs are concerned, but they look like they might be a little bit steep in some places, so we'll just have to do that and see how it goes. So my camera went flat today, and I wasn't able to do much filming. It does this thing sometimes where you turn off the power button but it doesn't actually turn off, which is a real bummer. But anyway, we made it to Canopus Lake, and we're at the camping area there at the moment. It's going to thunderstorm all night, so we've just set up camp in the bathroom, which is a little bit funny, but yeah, so that's what we're doing tonight. I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. We ended up walking about 18 miles today, so not too much, but acceptable. Good morning. Today is day 100 on trail. We are just leaving the Canopus Lake Beach Complex where we slept last night in the bathrooms because there was a big thunderstorm coming, except I think the big thunderstorm wasn't that big. Either way, we had a wonderful night's sleep last night in the bathrooms, and that was great. It's about 7:10 now, and we're just going over to the Blue Blaze Trail to head back to the AT. We just stopped off at the south end of Nuclear Lake for a swim. The water was really nice and warm actually. It was really delightful to swim. First time that Raiden's actually got in the water and gone for a swim so far on the trail as well. So that was good. And there's lots of little fish which were nibbling at my bare skin, the dead skin on my feet, but also on my bum and on my legs and things as well. So I had to do lots of flailing in the water to get them to go away. And now we've got about 5k's to go for the rest of today. I think it's going to be pretty easy. We walk along this lake a little bit and then up a very small hill and down the other side to get to the shelter. So that'll be a nice finish to the day. Good morning. It is day 101 on trail. We're just leaving Telephone Pioneer Shelter and heading north as per usual. Today we're planning on walking about 20 miles to a shelter which I've forgotten the name of, which is just before the town of Kent. Today we're going to cross for the first time from New York into Connecticut, and we're also going to see the largest or oldest oak tree on the Appalachian Trail, which I think is coming up real soon. But other than that, looks like a pretty cruisy walk for today. Telephone Pioneer Shelter was a pretty crappy place to camp last night. For a start, the water source was almost dried up, and so it took a really long time to fill up the water bottles, and there's a lot of mosquitoes around, so getting bitten while trying to fill up water bottles was not exactly much fun. But then there was also no flat camping areas at all, so we ended up with quite a big head to feet slant, meaning I woke up this morning with the end of my mat and my feet smushed into the end of the tent and a lot of space above my head. But I did manage to sleep alright. Definitely don't particularly like sleeping on a slant, but you know, I've done worse, I think. So we just came up to the road crossing to get into Pauling, which is where the big oak tree was, and we met up with Justin, who is a photographer, and he was taking portraits of hikers for free on the trail, so that was really cool. Both just got a few photos taken. He said he'll email them through to us in a couple of weeks, so that's really awesome. And now we're out in open fields. Nice walk through the sun. So we just entered Connecticut. For the first time, we're actually going to walk in Connecticut for a little while and then jump back into New York and stay in New York for a little bit and then jump back into Connecticut. So we're not here for good, and we're not done with New York yet, but another milestone down. at a campsite which I cannot pronounce the name of. We decided not to go to the shelter because tomorrow morning's Sunday and it's pretty close to the road. I think only about a half mile from the shelter to the road into town, so we'd have to wait for everything to open when we got to town anyway. So we stopped off here about 4 o'clock. It means we've got a little bit further to go to get there tomorrow morning, but it should be perfectly fine. It's a nice little campsite. There's a few spots, but they're all spread out down the way. And we've got this little spot to ourselves. There was a nice stream to fill up some water, and some people gave us their bowl to use as a scoop, which was really handy for doing that.